What's up, everybody? It's your boy. I am Quartet.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mustangs of all ages, as you already know.
A lot of those.
The culture section is proud to present unto you from going on by way of North Carolina. Put your hands together wherever you may be listening to the sound of my wonderful voice. For Tada! The greatest me. Haters are gonna hate. Oh, can I get a witness? Man, I'm getting old. Up in here. Up in here. Up in here.
Welcome to another explosive episode of the Culture Section Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our Fans of the Culture Network YouTube channel where you can hear exclusive content of the Culture Section Podcast. Welcome. Listen, we're getting right to it, man. I don't want to mess this man's name up, but his name is Damar Hamlin. He's a safety for the Buffalo Bills. Earlier this week they were playing a football game, and he got hit, and he went out, but he stood back up and he fell back. They had to rush CPR. They had to rush over to him, give him CPR. He didn't get back up. They ended up putting him in the hospital, and now they're saying that he actually spoke to the team yesterday, and everybody seemed pretty excited.
So he's on for a full recovery?
That's what it's looking like, man. That's what it's looking like.
Like we talking about, like he gonna be playing next season?
Now,
full recovery?
I don't know about that part. I think anything that when you do that has to do with some kind of cardiac,
like a heart attack.
Yeah, anything that have to do with that.
They're not gonna let you come back and play.
And I don't know if he would want to play again, because it don't take, but because that's a pretty active sport, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty active sport. Terrell always talking about coming back.
And he like 50?
He like 49 years old, man.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Yeah, but last time he played, won't he trash?
I'm not sure.
I mean, just because you're in good shape, you're good shape for what you're doing.
Yeah.
Not for that. So what is the discussion exactly at hand?
It's about, we're just talking about it, man, because it was.
So there's no particular subject at hand that you want to talk about this matter?
Yeah, it's a lot of things that has happened. For instance, I wanted to find that I'll read the Skip Bayless tweet if you ain't really seen that. He said that no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is critical to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Now, a lot of people have called for Skip Bayless to be canceled, right? They said this is insensitive and it's disgusting.
Could you say what he said in layman's terms? What is he actually saying?
Well, I this is what I think he means, and I'm not him.
Yeah, but he was saying,
he's basically saying, like, how can they stop this game when this game determines the outcome that leads to the postseason?
So is he saying that they should, because now they're not going to reschedule it, but he was saying they should have kept playing or they should have rescheduled the game?
Well, I don't know if he's saying they should reschedule. He said, which is irrelevant. I think he put that, we're assuming that he just put the which is irrelevant just to kind of cool off what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Because a young man's in the hospital, ICU.
So he's saying they need to play this game again, though?
No, he didn't. How you gonna say again when he making a tweet
Oh, so he's saying they need to finish the game.
That's the part we don't know, man.
Why don't they ask him?
Cause man, I'm gonna tell you, Skip Bayless. This is what happened after the tweet. The next morning, him and Shannon Sharp have undisputed. Shannon Sharp ain't show up.
Yeah.
So Skip.
He didn't show up because the message was insensitive.
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Oh.
So when it came on, Skip Bayless was kind of like, he talked about it, but it didn't sound like it was an apology, or just could have been, whether it was meant as, insensitive, or maybe, he thinking about the game, whatever the intentions was, he didn't really address it. He talked about, Damar Hamlin life meaning something. So then, that was then they went into regular business. So then the next day, Shannon Sharp comes on, and he's trying to do a monologue, and he's trying to address why he wasn't there, and it really come down to, he didn't really want to have a whole entire episode about it, and he mentioned something about, maybe he was hoping that Skip would take the tweet down, and Skip was saying that he's interrupting him too, man. Skip was like, "Hey, man, I stand by that, man. I stand by it. It's not one of them things where the reaction could be wrong, or maybe he shouldn't, it wasn't like none of that." So, but they moved on. But the thing about it is, man, is what was kind of the thing that kind of got me. This is what got me right here. They saying that this man, first of all, he makes like $860 thousand a year, and 150 of that was like a signing bonus. So really, on the scale of things, he's kind of like in the bottom, let's say 25% of the NFL. NFL is not lower. But they was able to raise like $5 million, and they was talking about giving it to this toy drive. And I was thinking, like, I'm gonna tell you, when I first read that, I said, man, what kind of, I said, man, don't get me wrong, it's all about the kids having toys and stuff. But I was like, man, this dude is like, that should go towards his. Because I didn't know whether the situation was gonna get better or worse. But assuming that it got worse, I just felt like they should have just took the money and gave it to his family, maybe help out with bills, or if the situation got worse, but it didn't.
Who did they raise this $5 million for?
How people do the GoFundMe stuff?
Yeah, they did a GoFundMe.
I think they did a Go. I think
for him.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of like whatever they contributed to. I think he do it towards. I think there's people to start giving, man.
For him though, this money was meant for him.
I assume, or maybe his organization. I assume, man.
And the heads of his organization said, "Let's give this $5 million towards the kids."
Yeah, I guess the organization that he has.
Because kids need toys.
Yeah.
So these kids had plenty of food. They just needed toys.
Yeah.
They had plenty of food and clothes, but they had no toys to play with.
I assume, man. It's just the more and more I hear this, I'm thinking more like, if it gets worse, a mother got to bear a child, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I sent you that little clip. I don't know if you looked at it, but man, they were talking about how, like, in order to even see any type of pension.
Yeah. So I looked at that clip.
You got to play 3 to 5 years.
Are we guessing, right? Are we assuming that he has no life insurance, right? This is what we're assuming.
I don't think we're assuming that. I think
so. We're assuming that he does have life insurance.
I don't know, man. I would assume that a man that plays in the NFL has life insurance.
So he has life insurance.
Okay.
And he probably has a nice life insurance plan.
Okay.
We're not saying he has a $30,000 life insurance. We're saying he has the one where you pass away and, y'all can pay off your house and everything.
Okay.
We're assuming that, correct?
We're assuming that, yeah.
Maybe more. He had kids or no kids?
I don't know. I didn't look all that.
Oh, I got you. And he signed this contract as well, correct?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
What's your point that you're trying to make?
I'm just getting clarity, man. I'm just getting clarity on the situation. Does anyone owe him anything? I'm just asking that. No, I'm just asking, does someone owe him anything?
No.
No one owes him nothing, right?
Except for probably the NFL.
What do they owe him?
Well,
Because he signed the contract, correct?
Yeah.
No matter the circumstances, he did write the contract.
Yes.
Everything was written in there. He probably had a lawyer go over it. What does the NFL owe him again? Just now.
Workers' compensation.
Did he sign? Was that in the contract, the workman's comp?
How do I know, sir?
Oh, I don't know. I thought maybe you did.
I'm pretty sure everybody out here got workers' comp.
So if he does have work, he's going to get that then, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Sure. Did you look at the video?
Yeah, man, it was lengthy. I went to the part that you got to, but my man was, I can understand he was passionate about what he was saying.
But what are your thoughts on the video?
Huh?
Come on. What are your thoughts? And repeat some of the things you remember. Go ahead.
Well, everything was basically, this is what I truly believe.
Yes.
If you want things to get better, you gotta, if you, let's say I work at Chuck E. Cheese. If I want things to get better at Chuck E. Cheese, then I have to do stuff for Chuck E. Cheese to get better. I'm not saying as far as, of course, if I apply, they give me a job, that means I'm willing to do the work, right?
What needs to be done.
I can't get mad at them and be like, because they told me what they was gonna pay me.
Okay.
I can't be like, I don't get paid enough. Well, then why did you take the job? It ain't like they lied to you and said they was gonna give you $30 in your hour in your first paycheck. You realize you was getting 10 an hour. No, that would be a breach of contract of some sort. So basically, if you're thinking they're not paying enough, you know what you do, right? I mean, not saying that, man, circumstance is circumstance. We gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm in that same situation. You think it ain't good, then you just don't do it, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, when you don't do it, there's no one to do it. If everyone take a stand, and then it's gone, right?
Sure.
Are people willing to take that chance for things to get better? Probably not, man, because you like, man, I do want that money. And in the future, things could change better.
Yeah.
I don't know what his process was, man. Yeah. I don't know if I'm really mad at the NFL because they can't make you do something. You have to make that choice within yourself to sign these contracts, and what happens when you sign up. We've seen lots of stuff, bad things happen in the NFL, man. Yeah. There was a whole movie about concussions and stuff, man.
And they said they covered some things up with that,
but everyone, man, come on, man. We ain't slow.
But I don't know, man. I think the world is slow, man.
You know what's funny? When something tragic happens, though, like we'll say close to home, then we want to take a stand and be on someone's defense.
And only last 5 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, and then what happens afterwards, though? It's like a fart in the wind. It's gone.
You know what I thought about yesterday?
What's that, man?
I actually thought about, again, when all this wokeism was going on about T.I., they were talking about suing the London something, and they was one of the companies that was bringing all the slaves over, and they were talking about suing for retribution, and I ain't heard nothing since, man. And I was literally thinking,
you think they settled out of court and gave him some money?
Nah, I don't think he got nothing.
You think?
I don't think that man got nothing. I don't think that.
Did he really do it to get something, or did he do it to start a movement? Like, man. Listen, I don't want no one to get offended by nothing that I'm saying.
Man, first of all,
I'm just looking at it from the other side.
We
probably
got the cleanest podcast for a reason that I've heard.
Because sometimes I believe that people's intentions are horrible, or meaning their intentions have nothing to do with what's actually happening. They use it just for a clout or a come up, or just to be in the light, man. Knowing that you ain't gonna get it.
Is that because this world has glimmed your view? And you don't have no hope for mankind?
There's hope for mankind. Just certain individuals just corrupted, man. Everybody want that moment. Everybody want that spotlight or something. Oh man, he's causing a movement. He's the head of something. Yeah, you're right. We need this.
Let me translate.
But it ain't coming from a good place, man.
If the hope ain't Jesus, you lost.
Because think about it.
Said. Shots fired.
Maybe there's still something going on, but maybe it's not in the media. Let's assume that.
Yeah.
But if it was sincere, usually when a movement is sincere, they keep pounding at it.
Yeah.
They don't let it go. Obviously, has he let it go?
I don't know.
Matter of fact,
here's the part you missing though.
Go on.
This is what they do. You gotta also think about this too, man. They could literally tie you in court
Yeah, they could.
Come on, man. You gotta.
And number two, how they gonna
file a lawsuit?
How they gonna disperse this money? And what is his cut? Think about, okay, he says that he was a forefront of it. Does he say to himself, I want everybody to get an equal check? You know what I'm saying? Or he say, well, I did front all this with all my money and lawyers and everything else. I need to take my cut.
Yeah, if it came to that, I'm all about like a person recouping what they put in. Because I feel like, hey man, it's like this.
So what's the justice for us? Imagine they pay us, but at the end of the day, they say it comes out to be $1.50 per person. I
wouldn't sign that paper. Now that one paper I would.
And $150. And they show you the map. They have the population.
And it ain't no funny. And ain't no funny math going on. It just
and they show you, and it ends up being $1.50 from the world's population.
Yeah.
For all people, well, I don't think this is people of color. We talking about black folks, right? Yeah. Basically. Yeah. And it ends up being $1.50. You got something. I guess you could call that a win, but that's like a smack in the face, right?
Of course it is.
That's like,
in California, they was talking about what, $225. Now they talking about doing what is it? Reparations. If North Carolina
for the state of California or just the city?
I think the state of California.
It's gonna do reparations.
They were talking about doing reparations.
They was talking about.
They still talking about it.
Just talking about it. Okay.
Now here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the situation. If North Carolina said every black person will get $300,000 in reparation payment, now, or what if they say let's say $300,000, and it's pretty cut and dry. The only thing is you can't keep. We done made it right. This right here makes it right, and you can't refer to North Carolina as the racist place on earth anymore. Are you signing that paper? Are you signing that paper?
So,
are you signing that paper? I gave you the conditions,
and it's $300,000,
and you can't call North Carolina racist no more.
I don't know if I ever called North Carolina racist. I call some
they
people.
Are though.
I call people.
They are.
Listen, when you say North Carolina, number one, we're North Carolinians, right?
Yeah, but I ain't never had slaves. I'm just trying to make you laugh.
Everyone in North Carolina hasn't had slaves.
I know. Can we stop trying to be
anyway, man,
super scientific? Let's get to the gist.
The funny thing is this, man.
Are you signing that paper?
First of all,
whenever people go,
here's a scenario right here. Scenario.
I gave you the scenario.
Imagine that wasn't in the scenario.
Okay.
And it's $300,000.
Yeah.
Are you signing the papers to say that you got your reparations? Are you saying $300,000 is good enough? Is there an amount of money that you say is fair?
Yes.
It is.
I'm asking you. I'm
in actuality, is there any amount of money that is actually fair?
It's hard to say.
It really isn't.
Because you know
there is no amount of money that's fair. Because number one, we lost our family tree, our lineage. We can't.
I like that. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
We can't even trace it back.
We can't trace it back.
We can lie and say Ancestry.com. Where they even get that from?
We have Indian and have this. And
we literally.
I get it though. I agree with you, man.
Don't know.
I'm locked in, baby. I'm locked in.
So there's actually no amount of money that's fair.
Yeah.
Now what you can do, and even that ain't fair, is just start giving us land. And don't be giving us no swamp land or something that's full of trees and everything else, man, that we gotta clear. Matter of fact, once you give us that land, it gotta be tax-free. We shouldn't have to pay no taxes on our reparation land.
Some black people owned, I don't know if it was Central Park, some big plot of land in New York. They didn't sell it back to them, but they did some kind of way they get monthly payments, like almost like they didn't sell it back to them, but we leasing it from them. So that's what they worked out with that family. So
that's smart too, because now you own that land, you own this land, and you getting paid for that land.
It's like they can never, you can't get it back, but you making the money that they made off of it.
Thank you. Now see, that is smarter.
Very smart.
Because now that goes from generation to generation in the future.
Yeah.
At least they can go back to whomever owns that land.
They can overdose with no problem.
Man, but you talking about,
they can overdose with no problem.
But you talking about giving us $300,000.
Yeah.
Which the average.
What about tax-free for the next 30 years?
Man, come on, man. I'd rather you give me that land that's tax-free and you still leasing that land from me or paying me for that land. Yeah. Yes, because you give me $300,000. Imagine how many people gonna burn through that money, man.
Yeah.
Half of them gonna
hookers, coke.
Half of them gonna quit a job thinking that money's gonna last forever. I think it's escort services or
that's
companionships.
Hookers.
Yeah, hookers. Harlots.
I used to like hookers and coke.
Night walkers.
Night walkers.
I don't know, man. But I don't think that'll do it, man. No 300, man. That ain't gonna do it. So no, I wouldn't sign that paper. But you might be in a position where you need that money.
You know how
they might have you, man. You be like, man, it's almost like signing your. It's almost like someone like signing your life away. Like at the very end, and man, this 300 will save you.
And guess what? You can don't ever be first. Don't ever be first in the situation. Don't do it, man. Just wait till about 1,300 of them.
You said 1,300 of them.
Make sure 1,300 people made a mistake before you made that one. Yeah. They gonna forget about the 1,300, but they gonna remember the 1,301.
Everybody, guinea pigs. What about in the middle? They just stopped giving it. We ran out of money.
They got a program.
The rest of y'all, we just give you a certificate.
Yo, what's funny right now? They got a program in North Carolina. It's where they it's like some kind of homeless. No. It's a new law. They was talking about where you could apply for money towards your heat or something like that.
What?
And at the end, it say you could apply right now until the fund or it lasts until March or until the funds run out.
I was looking this up, man. I remember, man.
Yeah.
You remember this? It was 2021.
Yep.
A city in North Carolina commits to $2.1 million for reparations. It was Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, Asheville. Yeah.
Whatever happened to that one, man? And did you have to be a resident of Asheville?
Probably so. Probably so.
I wonder what happened to that.
They probably still doing it.
What you mean they still doing it?
I don't think Asheville got $2 million. I think maybe.
Isn't that where the Biltmore Hills Estates is at?
Maybe.
They be raking in money. You know how much it costs to go on a tour there?
Yeah, but Biltmore ain't Asheville. It ain't Asheville.
Yeah, but I'm sure they taxes got to pay towards it.
That's true.
Hey, is that fair? Oh, man. Nothing is fair in this situation.
I guess it depends on.
Nothing is fair in this situation I'm about to say. You are a white American, man.
Do I have white privilege in this scenario?
You are no, this has nothing to do with privilege.
I don't like.
You are the age of 10 years old.
10 years old.
But you know how we don't do a draft, but when you're 18, you got to they mail it to you. You got to send back that register, the register of the military, which is crazy to me, but whatever. Once you're 18, you are 10 years old, but once you turn 18, there's a tax on you that goes towards reparations.
Yep.
Imagine they brought that into law for only white Americans. And you're 10 right now, which had nothing to do with you. Now, it's your heritage, but it has nothing. Is that actually fair? Is it though? Look at you, man. You saying it's not fair?
Hey, man, I hate to be this guy, man, but anytime, look, man, it's just I'm too close to this. It's hard for me to be objective sometimes when I think about like just working for free, man. And then on top of that, that's what I'm like, man. Sometimes it's like what Tim Rogers said, you can't be desperate. If I knew what I knew back then, I wouldn't have signed that contract. But when you're desperate, you sign anything. So a lot of times, if you catch the person in the right position, they probably say, well, that's fair. Or that's not fair. Or whatever the case may be. But
because as a black man, right?
Man.
Matter of fact, as a black person.
Man. You got me there.
We could say, as a group of people and as a generation, America owes us. But when we say America owes us, are we actually looking at America or do we put a face on that America when we say that? Like, when do we look and we see lands and stuff, or do we see a face and is that face white?
That face is white. It's white as day. It ain't no Indian involved. It's just straight white. Listen, man, at the end of the day, here's the problem. They stole the Indians. They stole the land from the Indians. right? That's one problem. The second thing is they injected slaves, meaning that they brought us over and we work in this land and stuff. Now, there was some slave white people too. I get that. Now, I also understand they say they got it from the idea from other Africans. Okay, it's all good, whatever. But the thing about it is when it comes to America, this is what they did. This is what happened. Came over, worked the land, broke us down. Now we speaking English. We ain't got no ties to the, all right? Then here we go. Here's some more, all right? They start feeling a little guilty about it, right? Times are changing. Slaves are escaping. Harriet Tubman, all kind of activists, underground, all this stuff. Okay, well, we'll let you work the land. You can work the land and then you'll own it. Sharecropping. Never own it. Then some kind of way, man, the paperwork get diluted and man, we can't even. Man, they say Sanders got some land somewhere in Johnson County. Man, I wish I knew, but I don't know because it's a lot of unknown things. So all this stuff transpired. It's gonna be hard for somebody for us to define what's fair. But when you a black person and you saying it always come back to the white person. Always, I don't care what the situation is. Always come back to white. Yo, you white, man. That person was white that did it. Maybe you ain't the person that had the slave, but just come back to white. I ain't got nothing against it. I'm just saying.
It's guilty by association.
Guilty by association. Guilty of the association, the associated guilty. Guilty. It's just it don't make it right.
Oh, okay.
It don't even make it Christ-like, but it is what it is, though. I had to throw that out there just in case you were really feeling yourself. Man. I'm just, you know what I'm glad? I'm glad that we ain't the guilty parties. That the black people was out here enslaving folks. And that ain't, man. I just don't know, man.
I hear you.
I know I went off subject, but all I'm saying is
it went too far.
This the other thing I think. I think that even when it come down to this Damar Hamlin thing, first of all, glad he's doing better. But I just think sometimes I'm still thinking that from tragedy, there's still some type of I just always feel like there's some kind of lesson to be learned.
You think he should take down the tweet?
I think it. I would. Even if I didn't, if this man came to me and said, "Skip, that tweet was offensive." I'm talking about the Damar. If he came and said, I would take it down. But the fact that this man says that he's a fair human being and he got all this experience with doing commentary, but see,
no one's calling Skip racist, right? They're just saying he was insensitive.
No, they definitely calling him racist. They've been calling him racist. They say the thing with him and Jalen Rose and him and Shannon Sharp early on, the Tom Brady situation when they got into, which was just about 3 weeks ago. The thing about it is, I don't want to always call something racist because I think whenever you call it racist, it's almost like you giving it an excuse. You know, they ignorant, right? But I think he was very conscious in what he said. And do I think he really meant it maliciously? I don't. But at the same time, though, anybody, sometimes just to be fair about things, you want to try to make some things right.
So they saying if it was someone white, he wouldn't have tweeted what he tweeted? If the situation was the same, but it was a white man.
Definitely. They definitely said that. They definitely said if it was Tom Brady, he wouldn't even put that out there.
Are we sure he wouldn't, though?
We don't never know, but he has a history of but here's the thing.
Maybe it should have happened first then.
What?
If it was Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
And he said these same things, do you think the world would be angry at his tweet? If it was Tom Brady and he said the exact same tweet, he sent it out, do you think the world will feel the same way? If he said the exact same tweet.
That's a hard question. Well, probably it all would depend on if he was actively playing or he was retired.
No, he's actively he was active. It was the same situation happened, except Tom Brady is quarterbacking or something, man. The same thing happens, and he sends out this tweet. Would the world act the same way?
I'll probably say no, man.
You say no?
Because Tom Brady's like Whitney Houston. He's an American sweetheart.
So and he tweeted what he tweeted. The world was like, oh yeah, you're right.
He probably
must go on.
He probably just had passion. He probably was passionate about what he was tweeting. He ain't mean no harm. They'll make excuses for him. Listen, my name is, and listen, this is all I want to say is shout out to his family. Hope it gets better. He's doing better. I just think it's interesting, man. I think it's interesting. I know this episode was all over the place, but that's why the Culture Social section work. My name is Rod. I'm Quartet.
Tyler the Great is me.
See you when we see you. Peace.